You are treating patients currently. Are you seeing that the patients who have taken that, are they doing better, or has it not really done anything, or?
They're doing far worse. Paper by Shretha and colleagues, Cleveland Clinic, 51,000 Cleveland Clinic employees. The winners are the ones who didn't take it. People who've had 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5 doses of it. Every single dose, they get worse and worse and worse, and they get more recurrent infection.
So what do the symptoms look like for those that it's getting worse for? And maybe there's people, and as a doctor, you have, just so you guys know, you have a ton of empathy for people that were basically duped into doing this. And so there's no shame. But if you're hearing this and some of these symptoms that you're going to talk about are connected to what you're experiencing, that's important for them to realize.
Right. So the Shretha paper just looked at recurrent upper respiratory infection due to SARS-CoV-2. So the point is the workers who keep getting the pandemic illness over and over again are the ones who've taken the most doses. The healthiest are the people who didn't take it, and they get natural immunity and they fight it off fine. You can get a mild case, but it actually makes the problem worse chronically over time. We have examples now with President Biden. He's taken 6 of them. He's had the recurrent infection over.
That's what I was actually thinking. I was like, because they keep on putting out on Twitter every time he catches it, and I thought I actually tweeted it back, and I said, it's interesting that you have publicly shared how you have gotten COVID as many times as you've gotten the boost.
Yeah,
basically.
And there's never been an illness where you get it, then you take an inoculation, then you get it again, you take another. It becomes this endless cycle. Now, it's bad enough that essentially the products don't work, essentially. And, our CDC director came out August 8th of 2021, and said, announcement, they don't stop spread of the infection. There was overwhelming evidence they didn't stop spread of infection. So someone who just took it gets the illness and just spreads it to their grandmother. That was happening wide open. The CDC said, listen, we have to tell America they don't stop spreading. At that point in time, there never should have been a single mandate for anybody to take it, because the only reason why an employer or a school or an athletic team or the military would ever require it was that if it reduced spread. In fact, you wouldn't want somebody to take it and then conceal it and go spread it to somebody else.
Sure.
But in fact, that's exactly what happened. The Biden mandates came in the fall. Even the NFL mandated it for pro players after the CDC announced it didn't stop transmission.
Now you have some other things. You've had a lot of, not you necessarily, but you see these things populating on social media of connections to the jab and myocarditis, which was apparently a massive conspiracy. But now Dr. Fauci has recently come out saying, no, actually, we knew that this would possibly be a side effect. And it's almost like he's covering his tracks. That's what it looks like. So I'm not trying to accuse. I'm just observable phenomenon here. Is this true that there's a connection between that and the inoculation?
My stomach got sick when it was released a slide from an internal NIH, CDC, FDA meeting in October of 2020. Before the products finished their trials, there was a slide saying, these are the side effects that we anticipate: myocarditis, blood clots, paralysis with Guillain-Barré syndrome, and the list goes on and on. It was fully expected and on a government public health agency slide in October of 2020. Now, they get EUA approved in December 10th of 2020, and they get released onto the market. By June of 2021, the CDC and FDA are holding emergency meetings. It causes heart damage. Now, and to make it worse, the people suffering heart damage, 90% were boys, and they were young. Young people in their teenage years, early 20s. And sadly, New England Journal of Medicine, first authors Verma and colleagues in the summer of 2021 reported a fatal case at Washington University Medical Center in St. Louis, a fatal case in New England Journal of Medicine. And then they started pouring in. We had Gil and colleagues, 2 boys, aged 16 and 17 in Connecticut. They take it on days 3 and 4 after taking one of the products. They're found dead in bed by their parents. They're perfectly healthy teenagers found dead in bed. They demand autopsies, which is the right thing. They call in University of Michigan, University of Minnesota, pathologists, they review. They conclude fatal myocarditis due to the product they took in the arm. Fatal. And then the cases started pouring in after that. And to this day, it's still not on the consent form that this product, when you take it in the arm, can cause fatal myocarditis.